All right. So really quickly, my name is Susan Bursick. You guys know that obviously if you have clicked this link. I am a Blue Diamond leader in doTERRA. I live in southwestern Ontario. So you guys may be chiming in if there's anybody on here that's out of the Ontario area. Pop in the chat box and just let us know where you're from. Hello, everyone that's joining over there on Insta. So about 4.5 years ago, I started my doTERRA business. I was a mom of a 2-year-old little boy, and I had just opened up a home daycare because my biggest focus at that point in my life was to find a way to be at home as much as I possibly could, but still have purpose and still have an opportunity to be able to bring some income into my house, because I'm a shopper and I like to know that I can go out and spend money when I need to. And so, I was caught in that space of still loving being able to provide value to people, but not wanting to completely tap us out in terms of not having any income into the house. So we'd opened up a home daycare. This was exactly when the oils were introduced to me by Ange Peters. Probably most of you guys on this call know her. She was somebody that for 2 years I had just been soaking in her knowledge. So I was, taking her programs and her workshops and just learning more about living a more proactive lifestyle health-wise. I really had never looked at my health that way until I had become a mom and realized how valuable it was for me to take care of myself. You guys have all probably had different points in your life, whether it was a wake-up call or just an opportunity where you're like, I really value showing up in the world as my best self, and that actually requires taking care of me first. And that's hard sometimes as women to say that, or to be okay with knowing that everyone else can come after you because you take better care of them when you're in a great place of taking care of yourself. So I really adopted that understanding pretty quickly. And when I got the oils into my house, they just kind of were the next piece of the puzzle. Like many of you guys, you either were like, possibly at the end of your rope with everything else you've ever tried to take care of your wellness or your family's wellness needs, and this felt like your last resort. Or maybe you've just been on a path of wanting to know more about natural wellness, and so you have, you were open to learning about essential oils, or maybe you were just kind of dabbling and just kind of watching somebody in your community or somebody that you look up to who was using them, and the right moment kind of clicked for you, or the light bulb, went on in your household where you're like, no, this makes sense for us now. We all kind of have that point where we, make the decision that the oils have to be in our life. And then if you're on this call, chances are you are, because you have been talking about your oils to other people, which just kind of naturally happens, which is what I absolutely love about anybody that comes to this business, is that they are coming to it with such a genuine reason. It's generally not because of a new business opportunity or something that has been, splashed around to them. It's because they actually really love their oils and really truly know of so many people that could benefit, and then realize that it's tied into a really, really beautiful business model. So 4.5 years ago, I jumped in. I started sharing everything that I was learning as I was learning it. So I'll come back to this at the end, but if there's anything that I can share with you guys right now, whether you are on this call and you're like, I'm 100% all in, or you're just here to kind of, see what it's like to kind of consider doTERRA as a business, just be open to sharing everything that you are learning yourself in your home. And I kind of had an aha moment that I shared with my team this summer, where I realized that the excitement and the newness of different oil experiences had kind of worn off on me. I still was using my oils all the time, but I was forgetting how many people could still be educated through my own daily uses. So I had, said to my team a couple weeks ago, I'm going to get back this fall to sharing all of my experiences with the same amount of excitement that I did 4 years ago, because that was really how I built my business, was being willing to get out there and connect with people and talk about the oils and share, even though I really didn't know much yet. I just knew what I knew about the oils. And you guys can probably think of so many different scenarios in your life where you have trusted somebody's recommendation or advice about somewhere to go, a trip, a hotel, a restaurant, a movie to see, but you bought into it fully because of the person who is telling you that like, and trust. So you guys all have people like that in your life that have this belief in you, a trust in you, a connection with you. And while at this stage, with with, 4 years into my business, I hear a lot of people say, oh, everybody I know uses doTERRA, or they've heard of doTERRA. That's awesome if they've heard of doTERRA. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I didn't know anybody that barely knew about oils, let alone doTERRA. So right now, anybody that's looking to start their business, you're in such an amazing space because there's awareness now about essential oils. You can hardly go into a store without seeing them somewhere. And you guys have literally the world's best quality and all of the resources to back that up for anybody that wants to have access to that, and you get to share your experiences. So yes, while you may think everybody has already been talked to or knows somebody that's doing doTERRA, so many people have been waiting for you to be their doTERRA person. So just keep that in mind as you're, getting started in your business. And when I really grabbed a hold of the business opportunity with this, I'm seeing the rewards big time just 4 simple years later. There were so many rewards and so many wins that I experienced along the way. Anybody that is at any stage of their business and they're all in can tell you that there are things that are so magical and so amazing about this stage of their business, but it really took me 4 years, which I think is so interesting because I have a favorite book that I recommend to a lot of you guys, which is The 4-Year Career. It has really clicked for me that it took 4 simple years, which 4 years are going to pass regardless of what you're doing, for me to really, really be in a space of like deep gratitude for the amount of presence that I get to spend with my family and the amount of community and people that are in my life because I said yes to the biz. So just, think for the next, 10, 15 seconds. If you have a note paper or pen, just jot down, something that you're grateful for right now at this stage, whether you're just a customer and you've had amazing uses or whatever it is in your business that pops up as feeling high on your gratitude list. And if you want to type it into the chat box, please go ahead and do so. I'm going to open up my screen and just cover off a few notes for you guys so that anybody that likes a little bit of visual guidance can have that. Okay, I think everybody can probably see me here, but I just want to say you guys have made an awesome decision by being on this call, being open to learning. What you guys get as a business builder in doTERRA is access to such unlimited time and financial freedom that you get to create through serving others. And I think that's the cool part, is that you end up being surrounded in this business by people who really have a passion for just showing up and helping others, which is ultimately what the world needs more of. I want you to know that this business takes time, especially in the beginning, but you have a really abundant business model that I think as you start peeling back the layers, you will see that you have an opportunity that is unlike anything else that you have probably ever been involved in. And what kind of separates, you'll often hear builders and sharers, the term builders and sharers. Sharers are people that just want to be open about their oil experiences. They want to be sharing their uses with people, enrolling people casually here and there, but they're not necessarily interested in building an actual business and supporting others who want to do that. So really, it's just kind of you having a gauge on your commitment to your growth and seeing where you go from there. So let's cover off a few of the basics and kind of what to expect before you even do anything else after this call. First thing that you guys are going to want to do is to make sure that you are participating in the loyalty rewards program. So usually, if you're a customer who is loving your oils, you're probably on this already. This is a great tool for you guys as a business builder to learn how to talk about and leverage, but it's a loyalty program. So we all know that people are going out and spending money at Shoppers Drug Mart and the grocery store, things like supplements and vitamins and shampoo and toothpaste and all of those great things. And somebody who has a doTERRA account actually has access to buy that all from their own store. And I think most people are wanting to put more time back in their pockets, and shopping online definitely serves that. So as customers, a lot of our customers will be on the loyalty rewards program, but for you to get paid, once you've decided you're ready to start your business and you're going to be sharing and enrolling your others, you're going to want to make sure that you have 100 PV saved in your LRP cart at all times. That's basically the key to getting paid. And doTERRA will go through the system every Wednesday, and if you are owed commissions, they will look to make sure that your LRP cart is set, and that's what differentiates you from somebody who is not doing the business versus somebody who is. Second thing you're going to want to do is to join any of the groups that you want to be in to foster a sense of community. So the person who enrolled you or the person who introduced you to the business will have somebody that they can connect you to that probably has a space online for you to tap into community knowledge, knowing what's going on with a team. They likely have a customer support page as well. So when, if you're making notes, just jot down or take a screenshot that you want to know that you're in the groups that you need to be in order to be best supported. Next thing you're going to want to do is to actually set up your doTERRA website. So once you've decided that you want to be a business builder, people could go right to your website and actually shop right online. So what you'll want to do is just kind of personalize that a little bit. Again, jot down a note so that the person who enrolled you can help you with this, but you can actually put your photo up on there and a little blurb, and that way it just, confirms, if a customer, if you send your link to somebody to shop online with you, that it just confirms that they've ended up in the right space if they see your face. And the next thing, we'll dive a little bit more into this, is just to start considering getting some tools on hand in order to support your education first, right? A lot of times we think, oh, what do I need to get on what do I need to get in order to start, sharing my oils and teaching and getting things out to the people that I want to sample to. But take care of your education first. Make sure that you have the tools on hand that allows you to have confidence to learn and to answer questions. So there's things like the Modern Essentials book, the Essential Life book. You're going to want to have little vials for sampling, A to Z guides, things like that. And basically, that's the simple things that you need to do to get started, which I think is so cool, because the amount of possibility that you have here to start to generate income for your home and to really set up a truly thriving business, this is it, right? You don't have to pay rent to anybody. You don't have to have shipping figured out. You don't have to do any marketing. It is all done for you in a network marketing business. So let's dive into month one. So let's consider September as month one. I wanted to just pick a couple of points for each month so that it's super simple. You don't need to overcomplicate anything, and just follow a couple of simple steps so that over time you can just keep repeating this. Really, in month one, you guys just want to look at becoming the best student of your own life. So what I mean by this is using your oils. Make sure that as you're building up your collection, whether you are just starting with a top 10 kit, or maybe you've got a few oils on hand now for different needs in your household, but make sure they're out and that you can use them. My favorite way to do that is to just get something cute to have them on display with. You can find lots of people that do cool woodworking. You could go to Winners or HomeSense and go into their bath department and get little clear storage caddies to put your oils in. I remember when I first got mine sat in a little Tupperware container, and then I realized, okay, I need something a little bit more functional than this. But what I want you guys to really, really hold on to and know is that people are ultimately most interested in knowing how you are using your oils in your life, your house, with your family, not how well you memorize a sheet of the top 10 uses, okay? You're obviously going to take things like that to classes or one-on-ones just to kind of, guide you and keep you on track. But your best classes will be the ones where you are just sharing your actual experiences, right? Going back to buy from people they know, like, and trust. And even if you are in a position where you're starting to teach classes for people that you don't know, they still want to know how you are using the oils. Those are the best stories to share. The next thing you're going to want to do this month is just get in a place where you're carving out some time to study about doTERRA. You do not need to be an expert to start. You don't have to know everything about aromatherapy or every oil, but you do want to start to spend time educating. I think probably if you were to kind of take a poll, a lot of us who started our businesses and were super excited about our oils had a lot of late nights where you're just up on your computer, reading things, watching things, just kind of adding to your through your Rolodex of things that you want to know about. So a couple that I would jot down right away to look into is doTERRA's Empowered Success series. So you can find this right on doTERRA's website. It will be a really golden tool for you guys because it's chunked out into tons of different categories, like webinars on oils and athletes, webinars on cold and flu season, emotional wellness, oils for kids, oils for the summer, oils for pregnancy. So you may have a topic that's kind of like top of your list of people that you would like to serve, or people in your life that you know would probably most benefit from you learning a little bit about this stuff. So the Empowered Success series would be a great place to start. All of those you can find on doTERRA.com. doTERRA also has a really awesome YouTube channel. So I try and sprinkle in some of those videos in my customer group online. In between, sharing posts about my own experiences, you can find really beautiful short clips that teach you about everything about doTERRA. Healing hands, how we source our oils, ways to use the oils, all kinds of different things. So check out YouTube and find doTERRA's channel. Look for inspiring Instagram accounts. For those of you guys that are on Instagram over here, or if you are an Instagram user, that was some of the best learning that I did in the beginning as well. I would find people that were posting really great content that I could take and learn and apply to my own life and share forward. And then the last thing that I will say is a must to dive into immediately is doTERRA's Source to You website. I am sure that most of you guys have had questions from people before about, why should I buy doTERRA versus go to the mall and get what I, can walk in and buy from Sage or at Winners. Source to You is the website that will have the information that every single oil company, I don't want to say should fear, but this is the information that anybody buying oils should have access to. So study this. I don't mean study it so that you can recite it verbatim, but you're going to want to have a good, comfortable way to talk to people and have a few favorite stories about where our oils are sourced. You'll find some really beautiful videos that are done to kind of explain work that's being done in Nepal and Haiti and, different countries in Africa and places where there's a real impact and a real need for communities to come up and rise together. And doTERRA is providing that. So you'll really start to kind of put the puzzle piece together where we're out here sharing the oils in order for the owners to really have an impact on the world in terms of the relationships in the countries that we are in, partnering with to make the oils and to create really sustainable futures for countries that are struggling but have a really beautiful product for us. And then the third is just to open up a fresh notebook this month. Just keep one handy, whether that's digital, maybe it's your notes app on your phone, or just pen and paper, and just start thinking about all the people that you know or that you come into contact with who would be interested in learning more about natural ways to clean and take care of their wellness or their emotions. You could probably, no matter who somebody is in your life, you could probably find a soft spot or an area of curiosity when it comes to either cleaning their home, taking care of their own wellness, or taking care of their family's wellness and emotions. We all have emotions, right? I actually didn't think I had any negative emotions until I became a parent and realized what a tough job that is. So I rely heavily on my oils for those moments where I'm feeling overwhelmed or, just a little bit out of sorts. So just, keep a notebook for your memory to be jogged, and also think of the people that you would actually love to do this business with. That's key as well. So write their names down. You don't have to do anything with that information in the beginning, but just kind of start this list. In the second month, so let's pretend this is October, this is the time where you're going to want to get out there and actually start sharing and teaching. Don't wait until you know everything. People who wait actually never start. So what I want you guys to get to know is the PIPES acronym, and you can find more about this under Empowered Success on doTERRA, and I'll open that up for you guys to see after. But PIPES is simply prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. So in a quick nutshell, it will teach you how to get prepared to start sharing. It'll teach you how to start inviting people properly, either to try samples, to come to a class, to look at the business. The present portion will take you through how to teach a class, how to talk about the oils. The enroll portion is going to take care of how to take somebody from a class and get them enrolled with their own account. And then the support area is going to teach you about just taking care of people beyond that first enrollment, which is some of the most important part of the work that you will do, is taking care of people through this lifestyle choice that they have decided, by staying visible with your own education and your own unique ways of keeping them engaged in using their oils. Second piece in month 2 in October is to really start tracking your contacts that you're making and every interaction that you're going to have with them about the oils. This is still something that I am trying to master and get better at. Some of you guys will naturally be very organized and really, really diligent about tracking this kind of stuff. And if you're not typically a person who has done a lot of tracking or organizing, you'll just want to start somewhere, whether that's a notebook or making a little spreadsheet or file. But this actually will start to be your most valued piece of information and will remain that way for the entire lifetime of your business. So what I mean by this is every single time somebody reaches out to you and asks about an oil, or you sample somebody, or somebody comes to a class and maybe doesn't enroll, or anything, right? Any kind of interaction that you have with somebody, you're going to write down their name and document the date. What oil was it that they tried? What was the conversation about? And track every time you have a follow-up conversation with them. And know that the majority of people that you first have an interaction with oils, it's going to sometimes take people anywhere from 5 to 12 contacts or connections with you before they're ready to purchase. So what I like to do is just to kind of create a little toolbox of value. So for example, if you talk to somebody this fall and let's say they've come to you with, ongoing colds and flus that they battle every time back to school happens, and you've given them some On Guard, some tea tree, and some oregano, and you've sent them some information about how to use that, and then you're finding that they're just not engaging back much with you. That's totally fine and completely normal. What I would do then is you add them into your contact list. And then when you're ready to follow up with them, this is the part that generally people either like bow out and they don't do anything further and they decide that this business doesn't work. This is what separates from people who have a business that works, is that they understand that it's going to take time for people to be ready to purchase. And I will sit here and tell you that I have people that have taken 3 and 4 years that I know have been watching the entire time, learning the entire time, maybe not even engaging with me in my posts, but they're watching and learning. And the time comes where somebody's going to be ready and they're going to come back to the person who first comes to mind about the oils. Whether they have kind of forgotten about everything you're posting, but then somebody at work mentions oils, you want your name to be the name that pops up, and you want them to be like, you know what, I totally trust because they are consistent. I see them modeling their lifestyle with their oils. They're the person I feel safe and secure to join with. So think about all of the tools that doTERRA provides for us. Amazing blogs. There's the doTERRA blog spotlight. There's always webinars, the Empowered Success series. You might find them a YouTube video that you want to send. Maybe you're hosting a class in November and you just pop in and say, hey, I know that you tried some oils back in October. I'm hosting a class November 1st. If you want to come, here's the information where to find it. Send them invites to events. So following up definitely does not and should not look like, hey, just checking to see if you're ready to buy yet. Oh, hey, it's just me again. Just thought I'd see if you wanted to enroll. That feels yucky and gross. And if any time you're following up with somebody, you feel a little bit off or funky about it, make sure you're asking yourself, am I providing or coming to this conversation with value? And know that it's going to take time. And then in month 3, so let's call this November, you are ready to jump into action of enrolling other people. Some of you guys might be ready to start that right away, but I really, truly love seeing people take the time, especially if you're just getting started, understanding and knowing about how these oils work in your home. I love seeing people take a month to really absorb that and start to feel significantly empowered and better in their skin, in their emotions, have experiences with their kids, because the business will feel incredible to you when you are coming from a place of truly believing in your oils. So let's say that takes some time. And in month 3, you're ready to now actually start looking at what our business model is like. So understanding how to enroll people, actually what the different ranks are within doTERRA, and how to structure your enrollment so that you can actually grow towards your goals. And one of the, I think, sweetest blessings with doTERRA's structure is that in the beginning, you just really need to have 2 to 3 cool people that you love, business partners. Maybe it's just, a really valued friendship or a customer that you know will love their oils. And the person who enrolled you will help you to structure all of the people that you are enrolling as customers so that you can actually advance in your ranks. So the way I like to think about our business moving forward for people is a real pay it forward mentality. You love your oils, you start a business, you teach other people how to love their oils, how to start a business, and your growth helps support them as well. The next thing, when you are in like ready to go mode, it's time to tribe up. So I want you guys to think about, where will people find their connection with you? Where will they build trust with you? Is it going to be in person? Is it going to be on social media? Is it going to be a mix of both? What I will say to you guys is that the universe works in really awesome ways for people who know where they're going and who they are serving. So, for somebody who is on this call right now, who's like, I'm doing this is a business that I'm going to embrace and treat like a business. As soon as you have a bit of a customer base, you'll have people that are loving your oils that you're going to want to start speaking about the biz to. And that may be, again, sharing and learning as you're sharing and learning about the business. But the moment that I decided I was going to start my business, I created a space for people to find me to learn about what I was teaching. And the moment that I decided that I wanted to do this as a business, I created a space online within Facebook for people to join and learn about the business with me. And you'll find that the majority of people probably don't want to take the lead and build this significant empire, but they're really happy to just follow the steps that you lay out for them. So if you're somebody who has decided, then make sure that you have a space for people to join you and follow with. Little tip here. Structure yourself. Might be something that you want to jot down or ask the person who enrolled you about. My best guide when you're starting off, structure yourself and anybody who is going to build with you to hit Premier. You'll hear a term called enrolling a ghost account. So what that would mean would be, enrolling somebody who doesn't want to do the business with you, but is happy to just let you create an account in their name. And when you find a business partner or somebody who's going to grow with you, they can swap into that spot. So it's basically like a placeholder account, and you can start to structure your customers under that account. I would say starting to build it up until at least it's hitting about $1,000 or $1,000 PV in volume, and then you start to start a second leg. So I'm not going to dive into that because that's not what this call is about. That's something that the person that enrolled you can help you understand, and you'll find that a lot of this information as well in the guides that I hook you guys up with. But that first step is working towards hitting 5,000 overall volume in a month, with 2,000 coming from each leg. And for those of you guys that are just beginning, that may seem like an astronomical amount of volume to come up with in a month, but give me 1 second here. I'm just going to stop my slides. Maybe. There we go. Now I can go back to seeing your faces. But what ends up happening is that you have people that enroll with you as customers. They fall in love with their oils. They, of course, want to be able to build a collection as cost effectively as they possibly can. So they join the loyalty rewards program, and they start, ordering little bits every month so that they're hitting their family wellness needs. And what that does is that actually helps you avoid starting from zero every single month. You have customers that are loving their oils that place an order or two every month. You add new customers on top of that. You have people that decide they want to start sharing. So now they're adding customers to your organization. So over time, you reach a point where you're never ever starting from zero. You're only adding on to that. So that's where the growth happens, and where you'll want to have conversations, every time you've taught a class or enrolled somebody, with your upline, so that they can make sure that they help you like build this little tree out, or, whatever you want to call it, put the blocks together so that we can help you actually structure to hit ranks, which is kind of the key to growing your income. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share a few tips with you guys here before we finish up, and then I will really quickly open up the Empowered Success tool. And if you're on Instagram, that's something that you can just jot down and open up on your computer as well. But a few tips that I have for anybody that's getting started is we've kind of mentioned this, but start documenting your journey, okay? I think it was Lisa or Jerry Banman who had, used this phrase with me about a year ago, and it was document your journey. So what a beautiful way for you to utilize social media or start to become comfortable with social media and capture moments of anything that has to do with your oils or your business journey. So, for example, what I do to kind of build awareness of myself as a leader is I will often snap pictures of Zoom calls that I'm hosting, right? And I will throw that up on social media and show people, what it is that I'm a part of, the people that I'm a part of. You'll want to start to snap pictures. Let's say you're starting your business and you maybe get your first big order of oils in, you snap a picture of that, you throw it up on social media, you share with people how excited you are to start using your oils, and this just starts to plant seeds of interest with people. Maybe you get in a bunch of little sample vials and you're starting to put samples together. Every time I mailed out samples or was putting samples together, like 4 years ago, this was big, I did this a lot 4 years ago, I posted about it, just sending off some samples to some girlfriends. Is there anybody interested in trying some? I'm sitting here putting packages together, shoot me a message. I find it's really key if you give people kind of like a time sensitive message, like I'm at my desk for the next 2 hours putting samples together. If you would like one, shoot me a message, and people will jump on that if they think you're right there in the moment doing something. As you're getting ready for your first class to teach, snap pictures, share about that, right? People are so interested in having kind of a backseat peek at your life, and that's ultimately one of the easiest ways that you could build trust with people is to show them what it is that you're up to and what it is that you're doing. I don't know how many of you guys are on Instagram or love Instagram, but that's like my first go-to place. If I want to know about a company or a brand, I want to see like what kind of lifestyle or what kind of imagery they have, and it kind of gives you an idea pretty quickly of whether you feel aligned with somebody. So this is your opportunity to just kind of document what it is that you're up to, what it is that you're passionate about, and this can be relevant in so many other areas of your life as well, right? Maybe you have a cause that you really support, or in your own work lives, you want to build awareness of the company or the brand that you do work with. Instagram and social media is such a great place for people to capture tidbits and snippets of what you are up to. So speaking of that, before I forget, I won't do it on my phone because I've got Instagram. How about everybody, if you have a phone, grab a picture. We'll all do a little smile or a peace sign or a wave, and you can post, hey, was on a cool call tonight learning about doTERRA as a biz. This is something I'm thinking about doing. So feel free to grab your phones right now and snap a picture of what you're a part of tonight. Second tip I have, fill your family in, or your tribe, your community, whoever it is that supports you and whatever it is that you are doing in life, fill them in on your plans. I can't tell you how many times in like the first or second year of my business that I would have like little conversations with women on my team who were really struggling with like getting out and doing classes, or finding the time to attend an event they wanted to attend. And lo and behold, their spouse at home or the people that they need support from really had no idea that they were doing a business. So if you need support to be able to do this, you got to fill people in on what you're doing. Don't keep it a secret. You're going to have moments over the next several months where you're going to get really busy, especially if you're going to treat this as a serious business. You're going to have nights where people want you to come out and teach a class, and it's going to maybe mean that you miss something at home with your family, or you need to maybe spend money on a babysitter when it really doesn't feel like it's in your budget. But you guys are building a really substantial business opportunity here, and it works so backwards to most traditional businesses where your time and your effort and everything that you're pouring into it is so heavy in the beginning, or may feel not heavy from a heavy standpoint, but time wise, where there's not a lot of financial return. But as that builds, that's when things tip, right? And as you're learning more about network marketing, and I'll share some favorite resources with you guys, that's where you start to understand that just putting in the work right now and really staying true to loving your oils and loving serving others makes the work feel really easy and fun. But you do need to fill people in on what you're doing, especially if it's going to require you to become a little bit more busy and less accessible. And what I'll tell you guys right now is that I, missed things. I still miss things periodically. We have company right now for, a Labor Day weekend dinner, but I didn't want to reschedule this because that was my commitment to you guys. But because of what I've built, and I want you to think about, where this would make sense in your life, I will never, for the rest of my life, miss a school drop off, a school trip, picking my kids up from school, family time, because it now gets to be the priority. There are times, of course, I will miss it for doTERRA, but it's at a point now where if that's what I want out of my experiences, my business now allows that. So just, if something comes to mind right now where you're like, I don't ever want my job or a boss or somebody else to say I can't have this time with my family or with my favorite people, this is what doTERRA will honor for you. Glad I didn't cry when I said that. It's close. Another thing too, in terms of like filling your tribe in, and just know that you can't raise a community of people, whether that's a community of customers or business builders, without you needing to raise yourself up first. So if you are like really thinking right now, I have no possible idea how I would ever get out for a class to teach or be away to attend an event or even make it out for coffee with somebody, start getting creative, thinking outside the box, make some connections on here maybe if anybody wants to, type in the chat box. But thinking outside the box sometimes might mean you take a neighbor's friends for 4 hours on a Saturday so that she can get her house cleaned or go out and get groceries without her kids. And then she does the same for you so that you can have 4 hours to spend on your business, little things like that where you can leverage people in your community and people in your life. And the other thing I'll say in terms of tips right now, guys, we have something called Diamond Club happening in doTERRA. Diamond Club runs twice a year for 4 months at a time. And that's where amazing leaders who are fully invested in their business are out traveling around all over the place to grow their own businesses. But it means that you can either attend some of their classes. If there's somebody teaching a Diamond Club class in your area, it means that they will sometimes come out and teach a class for you if they are needing, some extra enrollments. When somebody comes and does a Diamond class for you, the enrollments stay for you. They're your enrollments, but this person comes and gets to support you. So it's a great opportunity to leverage somebody who's out there in major class activity for you to either go and just shadow and watch how a class is being taught. Or let's say you have a sister or somebody who lives in like Manitoba or somewhere. You could find somebody who's in Diamond Club teaching classes, and you could send your sister to a class, a doTERRA class, and she can go and get educated, but come back and enroll with you. So Diamond Club's going on, started in August, and it'll run September, October, and November. So again, just jot that note down. And if there's somebody that you want to connect with, or you want to know if you can find a class that's happening in your area or somewhere where you have people that you can't get to, Diamond Club is awesome for that. Okay, so I am a big believer that there are literally no excuses not to succeed in this business, and that there is a resource that you can find absolutely anywhere. So I'm going to go back and share my screen for you guys quickly here. It's as simple as just making doTERRA.com your go-to. So doTERRA.com, you guys can all see my screen here. If you're on Insta still, you can open up your computer or just jot a note down for this. 4 years ago when I started, I was sending people all over the place to get their information, and you could nail everything that anybody ever wants to know just here. So if you haven't taken the time to kind of explore the website, do that soon so that you know where to find product information. If you want company information, if you want to know doTERRA's story, the story about the executives, science, fact sheets, corporate caring, if you want oil education, why doTERRA, how to use the oil safely, if you want to know about Source to You, the Global Botanical Network, quality control, product innovation, it's all here. If you are somebody who is really touched by humanitarian partnerships, you'll find some really awesome information on doTERRA.com, all the co-impact sourcing projects that we're a part of. And then this advocates button is where you will live for all of the information that you need as a wellness advocate doing your business. So again, if you're wanting to find info to send people as part of the follow-up, you know, you've sampled them or they've come to a class, you can find awesome information under the product, business, or science link. If you want to find printables for class kits, ebooks, forms, flyers, images, videos, all that kind of stuff, it's here. All of the events that doTERRA is hosting. So convention is happening in this month in a couple of weeks. Leadership retreat is for silvers and above. That happens in San Diego and Atlanta in the spring. There's incentive trips you can earn. But education, this is where we're going to hang out here for a second. So I had mentioned the Empowered Success and Empowered Life series. So Empowered Life is where you can find any kind of more in-depth but like short, impactful webinars on the oils. But Empowered Success is the key here. So this is where you are going to find every guide that you could ever want to get started in your biz. So you could literally build a successful business without any contact from anybody, no influence from an upline, no mentor calls. It would all be here for you. But we obviously know that community rocks and people do amazing things when they're supported and guided and a part of something. So I have always kind of done anything with the belief that 80% is what I do and 20% is kind of what I can tap into from a mentor or a leader to kind of just confirm, am I on the right path, or here's what's going on, what would you do in this scenario? But this is a business for you guys to build. So all of it is right here under Empowered Success. And the launch guide, so I'm not going to go through, you know, a ton of links here, but there's literally a guide for every single rank. But the launch guide I've opened up here for you guys is just a 16-page document. So if you haven't printed this out or you haven't looked at this before, this is your business blueprint. This is your toolkit that is going to lay out everything. This goes through the different pipe sections, so the prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. Things that you're going to want to do to kind of fuel your launch, you know, talking about we are solutions providers, helping you guys get used to kind of scheduling what it would look like to build your business, tracking your success. So if you want to start tracking follow-ups, there's a ready-made tracker there for you. Information on how to connect and share and invite, lingo, presenting a class, how to enroll successfully. So this is kind of the whole pipes thing, just summed up really quickly for you. Placement strategy. So this is all really, really valuable content that is there for you. So make sure that that is a website that you become familiar with, because it's a great tool for your business and it will help you it will prevent you from overcomplicating anything, because it'll keep you on task with the basics. And we really didn't have this tool until what, guys, maybe it was first introduced a year ago, barely a year ago, which is cool. When I first started, any leader in doTERRA could come up with their own programs, their own creations. And if you're part of the whole fit team, we have a lot of extended resources that we can tap people into, which is awesome, because there are some people who are like, give me all the information, all the links, all the details. I want it all. But if you want to really just be simple, and maybe you're going to find somebody that wants to do this business that lives in Europe or Asia or Japan, they can all tap into this and build their business the same way. So this is where I would start and not stray from unless you are really, really hungry for more information at this point. The other thing I will mention, if you've ended up on this call and you don't necessarily have a direct upline that you're working with, which sometimes happens. Sometimes we get enrolled by people who were never really all that interested in doing the business. And so they don't ever follow back up with us, or they don't check in on us. And you all of a sudden realize that, oh, I kind of want to know a little bit more about doTERRA. There is always somebody that we will help you plug into. It may be a couple of levels above you. So if you're feeling a little bit lost or stuck, or you don't even really know where you belong in somebody's organization, first try reaching out to the person who enrolled you, or send me a message and I can try and help locate, where you belong. But somebody above you is going to have really awesome resources to plug you into if you want to have that sense of community and be a part of something. They may not be able to mentor you one-on-one, but they'll have something group-wise that they can provide for you. Okay, what's the time here? 9:17. Okay, we're gonna get wrapped up here. Couple tools and resources that I absolutely love. If you guys have been in my groups for a while or enrolled by me, you likely have some of these already. Get familiar with network marketing. We actually don't really talk a lot about network marketing within doTERRA's culture, because ultimately when they first started doTERRA and the oils, there was never an intention to be a network marketing business. There was actually a lot of resistance against that. But how do you best learn about a product that involves your health and wellness needs? It's from another person. It's face to face. It's getting an oil into somebody's hands. And, you think about the difference between that interaction versus shopping by yourself in a store, grabbing something off a shelf and having no connection or guidance around how to use something. So doTERRA really truly recognized that the best way for people to learn about oils was to be involved face to face with people and have people supporting one another. And once you start to understand how awesome a network marketing business model is, it'll kind of make you wonder why every company out there doesn't operate this way, especially if you've had somebody in your life who has had, a long corporate experience or something where they have just worked hard, and there hasn't been an opportunity to grow or to be paid in the way that they are worthy of being paid. You'll start to peel back the layers on what this is, and you'll think that everybody should be building a business this way. Okay, so let's talk about income producing activities before I share these tools with you guys, because it's really easy to fill your time up with all of the learning and the listening and the watching of things, which is awesome. This is all going to add to your education and your knowledge. But if it's not actually turning into something that produces income for you, this is something you'll want to have an awareness around, right? Truly, the income producing opportunities are the opportunities where you're actually with somebody, speaking with somebody, getting an oil into their hand, turning them into a customer, helping them grow a business if they wish. So just be cautious of the amount of time that you're spending on your business or getting ready to do your business versus stuff that's actually bringing you closer to truly connecting with somebody and enrolling them. Couple of cool apps that I use are the Audible app. So this is an app that you can download to your phone. I pay $15 a month, and that gets you one free book credit every single month. So if you're somebody who spends a lot of time in your car and you just want to get into a place where you're starting to shift your time into more personal development, most of us are busy. We don't have a ton of time to be, even necessarily reading sometimes, especially if you're on the go a lot. You'll love having a podcast app or an Audible app where you can tap into free education. The Audible app, as I said, is $15 a month, but you can trade that in for a book if you want to keep your ears and your mind going. But then download the podcast app as well so that you can soak in education and knowledge that's completely free. And the first two that I would recommend getting your hands on will be Ange Peters' Whole Fit Talks. So she's my upline. She hosts a weekly, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, a weekly call, and that gets uploaded into a podcast. So you'll find a year's worth of content already uploaded under Whole Fit Talks. So that's HOLFIT, the word talks. And then the other one that I would look up is another doTERRA leader from Australia, and her name is Alice Nichols, and she hosts the All Rise Up podcast. And hers is going to be very, very much focused on doTERRA as a business. I have learned so much from listening to her content over the last few months, just different ways of understanding things or different ways to put words to use. Really, really beneficial. So Ange's is going to give you a really good kind of broad scope of what we're a part of, and Alice's will be more tailored to the actual doTERRA biz process. because when you start to really understand what you're a part of, guys, your commitment to your business is just going to be unshakable. You'll begin to have a really solid understanding of something called the law of the harvest. So a couple of other key people are Tiffany Peterson, if you're somebody wanting to learn about business and selling, because as much as we say nobody wants to call themselves a salesperson, we sell essential oils. Everybody sells something in some way, right? So she has really, really awesome content on just considering the fact that you're out there planting seeds, harvesting, and that somebody who's tending to planting seeds, there's always a harvest, right? There's always something to reap from that time you're spending with somebody. And what you guys do is just you plant these little seeds of hope and possibility. And as long as you're continuing to show up and support people in their journey and meet them where they're at, it inevitably ends up in a doTERRA connection for you. So let's just recap before we sign off tonight. We are going to start using our oils like a business depends on it. Not just the way you've been using them and loving them, but truly if you're looking for unique ways to show up and share, you guys got to have oil head game on every day, right? Make sure they're out on your counters. If you have kids going back to school, no matter what age they are this week, this is the week, right? To start experimenting with emotions and focus and avoiding, going back into a classroom with all the germs. Whatever it is that what phase of your life you're in this month, put some thought around where are your best examples that are going to come from your family. Decide next where you're going to start sharing your lifestyle if you're not already doing that, and who are you sharing it with? Is it going to be out and about every day at work now? You're just going to make a conscious effort of, passing a bottle of past tense over to a coworker, or making sure that you've always got On Guard in your purse this week. And, as sniffles and all that start to travel around as they always do in the fall, you're able to crack open an On Guard bottle and let somebody smell it. Think about the oils that have an experience right away for somebody, right? On Guard's incredible, but it's not necessarily going to change the moment for somebody. But oils like peppermint and wild orange, maybe deep blue, serenity, anything that just provides a nice instant calming effect or makes somebody feel incredible the moment they open that up. Those are the oils you're going to want to make sure that you have on hand. And next, we just start teaching and sharing and educating, right? Be the go-to person who's building trust with your community. We're going to enroll people with their own accounts. So if you've been somebody who's just been, saying, oh, I'll buy that oil for you, or, oh, I put an order in next month, I'll get that for you. That helps you maybe a little bit right now, but it doesn't build you a business. So you're going to want to work on switching out some lingo. There's always going to be people in your life, guys, who are probably never going to order their own oils, and you'll just pick up an oil for them here and there. You're going to know right away when I say that who those people are. But the majority of people are going to want to feel empowered and have their own account and not have to bother you for an oil or have to worry about sending you money or you picking up oils or sending oils to people. You run a business where you don't have to be the bank. You don't have to be the delivery person, right? Leverage what's been created for you. And then after all that is starting to feel good, you're going to start to have some discussions with the person who enrolled you about the ranks and talk about an income goal that you might have in mind, or maybe you kind of understand what our ranks look like, and maybe you've started your business enough where you're like, I think I could get to Premier or Silver by the end of the year. Really just spend some time over the next week thinking about what's possible in the next 3 to 4 months with some focus. This is generally, as most retail businesses, the most amount of income, sales, momentum is generated in the fourth quarter of the year. So you get people who have maybe been struggling with something and the fall is kind of a reset for them. Changes of season are always significant. I think when we look at changing up, how our lifestyle has been going, this is there's a lot of momentum that's going to kick in, and it's going to happen soon. So you want to be a part of it, or you can watch it, watch it happen for others. We have a product that solves so many issues. I know that the majority of you guys would share and talk about your oils, even if there was no financial benefit to you. But I want you to remember that you actually have an opportunity to change life significantly for yourself through this business. And there is nothing to feel bad about that, or any guilt or any shame about doing something that's maybe, not like anything that anybody else is doing. most people are craving what a network marketing business can offer, which is time to be in charge of your life, an opportunity to create unlimited whatever, especially if you are a go-getter and you know that you can shift out of that working phase of working for somebody because they expect you to show up versus showing up for yourself. We are aligned with an incredibly world-class company, and I hope that you guys take time over the next month to really soak in and learn more about that. If you are attending convention for the first time, you are going to have your mind blown. If you're not coming, make sure you buy the live stream. I can't remember how much it is. Somebody can type it in, but you can watch what's going on and really get a good feel for what you're a part of, and just feel so lucky that doTERRA chose network marketing as a form of way to do business. So as we finish off, guys, I haven't mentioned this, but you'll hear this a lot in your business journey, is to think about your why. Why did you show up to this call? Why did you decide that this might be the right time for you to do a business? Your why is going to change a lot. It could change month to month. It could change year to year. It's probably always going to come back to kind of the core beginning. For me, it was to have choice in my life and not to have anybody else that owned my time or my value. So if that's something that resonates, this is going to fill that need for you guys. And when we hang up, just take 5 minutes, journal some stuff. What's on your heart? What came to mind? What feels really exciting? What feels scary? Have a conversation with the person who's mentoring you or who has enrolled you, and just go from there. They will help you set up a beautiful plan that works for the time that you have right now. Sometimes you got to be honest and say, hey, this is what I need to start making as an income. Or if you want to be able to not be working full time and you want to go part time, you might have to share what that looks like so that the person who enrolled you can say, okay, this is what it's going to take. We can take like this amount of time to do it or this amount of time, and just know that it's going to look different for everybody. But just put some thoughts down on paper when we hang up before you go out, back to life, back to your kids, back to whatever you're doing tonight. Pay attention to what everything is just feeling like for you right now, and get out there and use your oils. All right, so I am going to say goodbye over here on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to check in and see if there was anything in the chat box that I missed over here with you guys. If anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask a question, I don't have to jump off the call right now, but we are at probably an hour. Yeah, so if anybody needs to go, you are welcome to go. I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. And if you're not a part of my team, thanks for hopping in and sharing with us. And if you are, make sure we get connected. I'll make sure that you're in our groups and that you are, best supported with the person who is building a business above you, and that you're a part of their team. And we'll make sure that it's an awesome experience for you. Okay, bye guys. And like I said, if anybody wants to unmute and ask anything, please go ahead. Okay, looks like you guys did lots of awesome answering of questions. Perfect. All right, guys. Have a beautiful Sunday night and an awesome day off. Hopefully it's a day off for most of you tomorrow. And let's rock September. Bye.